Hello, welcome back to Ado's Diecast Models and More. In this episode, I'm going to do another custom job. I've got a car picked out, something different. I'm going to change the paint on this one, but I'll probably do another one down track and leave the paint on it because it's actually quite nice paint. But don't like the way it sits, so I'm going to do my own little tweak to it to make it look how I think it should look. So I'll bring in the car. There we have a Lowrider. Quite nice paint on this one. Graphics are nice. I'll take it out of the packet quickly so we have a better look. And as you can see out of the packet, it's quite nice paint on that. Nice metallic red. Very nice, but the one I want to do, we're not going to leave it like this. I want to lower the front and make it a proper lowrider, so right down on its guts, all the way around. I'll change the colour. I'll do another one of these down the track and leave this paint on it because it's quite nice paint, nice detail with all the stripes. But I'll do something a little bit different. I've got something started. I'll show you, and we'll drill this one apart and show you what I've done so far. And there we go. Same at the moment, but we're going to change it around a fair bit. I'll lower it right down, put some rear riders on there. The rims aren't the same front and back, but I'm going to strip the tyres off, paint them gold. We're going to strip the paint. Probably going to go with a gunmetal grey for this one, just something different. We'll paint out all the bumpers, take all the chrome off, and that back there paints all up. It's got a bit of a Mustang back there by the looks of it, but it sits nice and low. We'll paint up the motor, but I'll show you what I'm going to do. What I've done for this one, I'll show you on the other one. I'll drill it apart and show you exactly what I've done. Moving on. So first things first, I'll drill it out, get the car apart, and show you where we go from there. Now when doing this, you don't want to over drill it. I'll use a slightly bigger drill bit because I don't use threads to put them back together. So I just want to take the top off. I don't really want to go any further than that, just so you can take the top of the rivet off, and then you can see exactly where you're going with the plastic to the rivet. And that'll be plenty. All drilled apart. I use a 5.2mm drill bit. This one, well, 5mm, that'll do. Okay. Chrome interior there. Change the light around. Nice window. We're going to change a fair bit of the front. We're going to take this whole front off here. And with the casting, it's got a little motor sitting in there. Little couple of little pieces it holds into. It's only just sitting in there. Put them out. go. And that's the casting. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to pop the wheels off, and I'm going to grind all this front part down. I'll get rid of the wheels first so you can see what I'm talking about. Just take that, see how it sits up nice and high at the front. I'm going to get rid of that height at the front and bring the car down at the front. I'll show you what I've done with the other one, and we'll do it with this. I've ground all the front off, and it's allowed to bring the front of the car down. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm not going to be using these wheels. Maybe something down the track. They're both exactly the same diameter, but I'm going to use something different. What I want to do there now, just stick my little screwdriver in the back there and just open that up through the back. So when I put my new axle in, it just sits straight in. The car's not really going to be a roller, it's more of just a showpiece, so I don't really care too much if it doesn't roll. I'm going to build up the front here with a bit of knead it. It's like putty mixed together, two different types, and it sets like concrete. So I'm going to grind the back off, take that right down, grind it right down, flatten it off. I'm going to build this front part up, and that'll bring your front wheel higher up into the front part of the car. So you won't have that up look, it'll bring it down. That's what we're going to go with. So I use this stuff called knead it, and you just cut a tiny piece off. I'll show you that in a minute. And you just knead it together, sets like concrete. I'm just going to put it in there to build that up. I'm going to place the axle down into it to get it where I want it to be, and we'll go from there. And to do the flattening off of the base, I'm not going to show you all that because it's hard to film and do all that at the same time. But all I did, as you can see, is flatten it off using my little sanding belt, I suppose you'd say. And I just had it going slow speed, don't go really fast, and you just grind it along there, just grind it down till you get it where you want it. And as you can see, I've gone quite flat. You want to I could probably take a little bit more of this off if I want to, which I probably will. But just grind it all down. I'm going to paint it also. Once it's all painted up, you're really not going to know the difference too much. Get that nice low look. Right, I'll show you what I've done with the inside with the putty. So in the inside, I've used a putty to build it up. So when you put your axle in, it sits up higher into the wheel arches to give that low look. And that's why I've taken the back off with the underneath. Stuff I use is stuff called knead it. And it's simple little stuff. Two different compounds mixed in together there, but until you actually mush it all together, it won't set. So I just cut a tiny little piece off, and then mush it all together. You don't need much. And a bit of grinding down as well. So I just mush. I'll do it to this one anyway, show you what I'm doing. Excuse me, I'm a left-hander. Just want to take just a little bit off, not too much. You can see there, just a little slither of it, not too much. Take the plastic off. Just mush it all together. And you got to be pretty quick with it too, because it doesn't take too long to start sitting with the stuff. But where you are in the world, I suppose, there'll be similar stuff to this, probably even the same stuff, and need it. Yeah, it's this one. There's an aqua one. Aqua one's actually pretty good for doing body kits. You can smooth it out a little bit better. So I like to do my own flares and stuff as well. There we go. We'll knead it up. It's nice and soft, like dough. I'll just cut that in half, or rip it in half. You don't need heaps of this stuff. I'll just squish it into there. Cover all that up. And what you want to do before it sets, well, what I did with the last one, you find too with this model, the front and rear wheels, where are we? They're slightly higher than the other ones, well, when it comes to the actual width. Actual width is different to the front and rear. So you've got your wide ones in the front, your skinnier axle width on the rear. I'll get there before it sets. Place the wheel. Where's the other one? I found too on the standard ones that there's little bits of, here we are, there's little extra bits of plastic on there, but I'm not using the standard wheel, so it doesn't really matter too much. See there, I'll cut those off anyway. That's all you want to do. I'll bring it up into the body more. Obviously I haven't shaved the bottom off this one yet, but you get the idea. Just resets the axle where you're going to want it to be, like I've done to that one. Right on. Move on now, and I'll start stripping the paint off what I want to do with the one I'm going to do with. Same as before, and the old paint stripper. Nice little effect, this one. Watch it all bubble up. Nice little process, this one. Doesn't take too long to start working. When we finish, we should have a pretty nice little project. I'll cut away from this, let it do its job, and we'll come back to a nice clean bit of die cast ready to do some work with. Thought while the die cast is stripping off with the paint net, I'll show you these wheels quickly. Move that out of the way. Right, two different rims off two different builds I've done in the past, but just spares I've got there. I'm just going to paint them out the same. I'm going to strip the tyres off and get them ready for paint. And pretty much the same tyre anyway, so it doesn't really matter if I mix them up a little bit. There we go. We'll paint those out. In the gold. The back one's more of a flattening rim, but it's not going to matter too much because they sit quite deep in those rear arches. So I'll get them buttoned up and painted up, and I'll show you the finished product with those. So I've stripped it all down with the paint, cleaned the die cast up. A little bit rough, but not too bad. A couple little marks in it there on the boot lid. But workable, we can still use that. So I'll get it all set up now. Instead of going with the gunmetal grey, I'll just get some paint on it, get it done. Once the grey's all done, I'll come back to it. So first coat's on, nice and light. Don't want to go too dark to start with, you'll get runs. So it's a nice little spray to start with. Some of the other ones I'll do an undercoat with the brighter colours, but it doesn't really matter too much. As long as you just build it up slowly, you'll get the same effect. So I'll let that dry off. We'll get a few more coats on that. We'll come back. So back again, getting ready for some clear, but before I'm going to do that, a few of the bits we're going to do. I've done the door handles, tail lights are done. It's come up quite good. All the front's done. Headlights are all in. They come up quite nice too. There we go. Bit of paint on my fingers doing this sort of stuff, but part of the fun. I've decided with this one, a couple little decals we're going to put on there. You can see. There we go, little cross crosses there with the eyeballs, one on each side. And on the rear quarters, little rat fink on the rear quarters. Just something different. Should look pretty good when it's finished. And with these, you just cut them out, put them in a bit of water, couple of minutes in the water, they'll just separate, put them where you want to put them, then dry off, and then we'll just clear them all in. But it should look pretty good. Wheels are all done. There we go, painted in, look nice. So I'll get the decals on, I'll clear it all in, and once that's all done we'll come back and get ready to put it back together. So all the clear's on now, it's all cleared in, decals are on, so it's come up quite nice. Little eyeball at the front there, looks cool. One Dutch on the side. Door handles, tail lights. All that's left now is to get it back together. And I'm quite happy with that. It's coming along quite nice. Once it's all together with the bottom plate and all that, should look quite good compared to how it started. This is quite nice too. As I said down before, I want to do another one as well, slam down to the ground, but I'm going to leave this paint job the way it is. That is quite nice. Cool. Let's look at the front here quickly. What I've done, the one I've ground down to the standard one. Mine's a fair bit lower, the way I've taken off the bottom. All that underneath there. No, it's going good. All painted underneath. Can't really tell that much now. So I'll come back when it's all together and we'll take a look. Righto, got it all finished now. This is what it used to look like with the paint. It's quite nice actually. So yeah, we'll do something with this down the track. We'll change up a little bit. I'll do the same sort of deal. I'll take all that front out there, lower it down. But for the car, there we go. It's quite sweet. Gunmetal grey. Rear rider tyres. Done the rims out in gold. Front's all done out. Simple but effective. One Dutch on the side there, rat fink. There we go. For something that's quite ordinary with the other ones. They're pretty good, but you know, not right into the higher front low riders and stuff. But I thought that this has come up quite nice. There we go. Righto. I think what we're going to do next time, four-wheel drive style, we're going to go, instead of going down, we're going to go up. I'll show you something I've done in the past on how to do it. Give you a quick look. My little four-wheel drive. I'm going to show you how to what I've done to actually make the back here, the aluminium tray at the back, and how I've done my little lift at the bottom there. So that'll be the next build. I'll do the same sort of setup, same vehicle, different paint scheme. Got a little aerial at the front there as well. But we'll do something like that next. I'll show you how I've done it. Righto. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you like my channel, and we'll get on to the next one. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you soon.